Okay, welcome to the program. My name is Emmanuel Ouma, and this is The Insight at GBS Television. Tonight, we want to speak about governance and development and the way our country is going, especially in the lenses of the young generation. Joining us to discuss this issue is Mr. Julius. Thank you so much for joining us. And for the first time, Mr. Vincent Juma. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
And welcome to GBS TV.
Pleasure.
Now, I want to start with you, Mr. Julius. Recently, we have seen a report by the auditor, by the Nyakango, says that there's a lot of pilferage and misuse of public funds. What do you think about that as a young person? Wherever you're sitting, you're coming up with, you are getting this particular report, and it doesn't suit good with Kenya, right?
Now, one, in terms of the governance that we have in this country.
Yes.
Actually, governance is the practices and the rules on how they are directed to a country. Now, the case study that we have here, all of us are in Kenya. Now, we are taking the case study, and in this governance,
yes,
whatever is being done is that we are seeing on how this budget, because the budget process,
yes,
when the budget process is being done, we just hear the figures and so on and so forth. But in terms of the implementation of this budget, actually the control of budget, I want to congratulate the control of budget,
yes,
Margaret Nyakango, for the work that she's doing. She's one of the people, because one of the key pillars, of the key characteristics of governance is that we should embrace the accountability. We should embrace what we call the transparency. She's really embracing the transparency. She's really embracing the accountability that we need as a country. Because what these loopholes which are happening in the country, actually 2 million shillings which are used daily for printing. And those are some of the things that she used to say. So 2 million, if you multiply in a month, how much is that? That can be used in terms of this printing. Now this printing, which form of printing is this? Because me, as far as I'm concerned, even a photocopy can take 2 shillings per page. So 2 million shillings means 2 million divided by 2 shillings, and you can find the number of copies which are being done. I think that is very malicious. That is a very malicious figure. And this money, it is not being used for printing. And if it is so, which work quantity is this that can be used by 2 million daily for printing, and that is done in the State House? I think what the government is doing, let them, if the government truly want this country to grow, this money that are in form of looting, they can be transformed and they do some other thing, because their main philosophy during the campaign was better. That is the bottom-up transformation agenda.
Transformation agenda.
Now, I want to transform with 2 million shillings in terms of printing. I don't see the authenticity.
I want to Mr. Vincent, come in. Do you believe what the control of budget is saying?
Okay.
2 million for printing.
It is true. It is true. The control of budget say that the State House uses 2.3 million for printing.
Yes.
Yes, she has not denied that. But the fact is, she has accepted that it is actually being used to do the job she's mentioning, right? And then, remember that the printing which is being done at the State House, there's a firm that is contracted to do the thing. What if we say that it is the firm that was contracted that did the quotation? Yes, because if you want to do something, you always bid and say that the tender is open, right? Anyone who can do this, each and everyone to come with the biddings. And then a certain firm comes and says, I'll do this thing at this amount, at this amount, at this amount. And then you pick the lowest. So it is the firm. I'm not saying it is the firm exactly, but what about if it is the firm that quoted that amount, that this is amount that we are going to use according to our technical know-how in printing and our specialization and how we produce high quality material, we are going to need this amount. And if you feel this amount is too much, then we are going to work with the budget you want, but we are going to produce a low quality outcome. You know, that is a very high possibility which many people are not considering.
But 2.2 million, what are you printing?
Yeah, you know, you are relating this thing on the fact that the kind of printing you're used to the streets, you are transferring, most of us are transferring the street printing mentality to the State House. That one is a different form of printing, right? You know, we are used to 2 bob, 3 bob, and so whatever. So that is what we are taking to relate to the one which is done at the State House. Remember that one which is being done at the State House?
Yeah.
It is a firm that has been contracted. A firm is paying staffs, a firm is paying taxes, a firm is paying other dues, right? So all these things are being included there. So let's talk about the quotation of the firm that was contracted to do the printing. and not the State House narrowly, right?
But we couldn't get any other law.
Sorry?
We couldn't get any other law quotation. Like if, for example, it was a farm.
Yeah.
Let's accept. So, for example, it's a farm.
Yeah.
Saying we need to print to use this particular amount in printing.
Yeah.
Couldn't we get another cheaper option, or rather something that is affordable, especially now that the economic times is not tenable for Kenyans?
I think just to assist my friend here, that I don't know how much per page this farm is printing. These are some of the facts that we need. That per page, this farm is printing at 10 shillings per page, and we have trained secretaries, the state office trained secretaries, that they can do state letters, they can check on the quality on each and every document that comes from the State House. Yeah. Why don't the government buy the printers? Why don't the government, because if they buy a printer, whatever they just replace is the toner. They buy rim paper, because even a rim paper, let me tell you one thing, my friend, that we have these facts at the fingertips. A rim paper has got 500 pages.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you say that, for example, you are using 2 million to print, and each and every page is 2 shillings, meaning that you want to print 1 million pages. 1 million pages, if you only have 200 rim papers, you are good to go. And a rim paper costs how much? A rim paper costs 500 shillings.
Around 500.
500 shillings.
Depending on where you are buying it.
That is 100,000. Yeah. So you can use 100,000 to print than what you are saying that you're using 2 million. That is simple mathematics that I think if you truly understand, you can go and advise your people that truly if 100,000 shillings can be used for printing, now 1.9 million can be used to transform the lives of people. 1 million shillings can be used to transform the life of Bodaboda. 1 million shillings can be used to transform the life of Mama Mboga. 1 million shilling can be used to pay the gap of the school fee that you people had taken back to 16,000.
Yeah, you can come in here.
That's why I said previously that the kind of relationship the Kenyans are bringing is the street mentality. That in the streets, we buy rim at 500 shillings. Yes. In the street, we do a printing at 510 shillings. That's a different case that we should not bring under a large printing volume where a farm is involved, right? Remember, the idea of a farm quoting high amount was not previously in the mind of Kenyans. This is just a new idea which Kenyans should consider. So the best thing Kenyans should do is, now, let's look at the farm. How is it doing this thing? First, the control of budget has admitted that the money has actually been used in printing. But she says it is higher, right? Yes. Now, the question we should ask ourselves, how is the farm doing it, right? Now that is the big question. How is the farm doing this thing?
But now, if, on that control of budget report, there's a report that there's excessive use of taxpayer funds, especially in travel. So when you see a report like that and Kenyans don't feel, or rather they feel the economic pain in the country, you'll be tempted to say that I think this is not tenable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the government is using a lot of money to travel.
Yeah.
Why should they do that?
Remember, government using a lot of money to travel has been there over time. And even if you, in our budget 2025, 2026, the per diem, it is called per diem, right? The per diem was increased by 10%. Who does love per diem? Even you will ask your boss that I want my per diem to be increased, right? And you find that most of these travels, the international ones, I think that is what most people are talking about. Yeah. Most of them are usually done for a benchmark. Most. But not all.
Why benchmark when we can do that in the country?
That is the meaning of benchmarking.
Oh, we have professionals in the country, right?
Yeah.
Why benchmark outside?
That is the meaning of benchmarking. Already we have the knowledge.
Yes.
But we feel that we need to borrow something from other people so that we can complement it with what we have. That is why people go for benchmarking. A professional, go to another area where there are other professionals. Because you might find that there's a way you are doing this thing in your country. But it has got some shortcomings. Yes. So, how are you doing this? How are you doing this? How are you doing this? Then you come back and complement it with yours to come up with something that is very magnificent.
But what is the value of, especially when they go to benchmark, yes, they go to benchmark and gain knowledge and what have you.
Yes.
But is that knowledge transferable to the country? I mean, do they transfer it?
Yeah.
Could we have real quantifiable, what do you call it, impact in the ground?
Yeah. It is very beneficial. But the only challenge is Kenyans usually want what benefits them directly. No matter how something is beneficial to the entire country, If somebody cannot feel the impact as an individual, the person will always deem that thing as non-impactful. That's the biggest challenge of Kenyans in terms of transferring idea from the top to the bottom. Exactly.
Now, you see, the controller of budget was complaining that actually, you see, during the 2023-2024 financial year,
yes. Yeah.
when the budget was launched in June, people started complaining that the budget was so high. What did the government promise? The government promised that they are going now to cut the cost, the traveling allowance,
yes,
by 50%. The control of budget is saying that the 50% that the government promised to cut out from the budget is not being implemented. Instead, a lot of travelings are still there, irrespective of those which are not even included in the budget. I'm telling you, if you are saying that they are going for benchmarking, let us see the current education system. This education system is a borrowed education system. It is borrowed from UK, it is borrowed from the education system of the Singapore. In terms of the implementation of this education system, the government said that they are going to at least reduce the burden and improve the skills of the students. That is why they introduced the CBE and also they introduced the CBET.
Yeah.
What is happening in the country right now? The country is not having adequate resources to implement the current education system, that they used a lot of money, millions of taxpayers' money, to go and benchmark in Singapore, to go and benchmark in UK. Number two, this, even if you go to the agricultural sector, the current supplies of the fertilizer was as a result of a benchmark. What happened when Methuselah Ture was the CS? What did they supply? Was that a benchmark? So these are the things that, at least if we speak in this country, yes, they can go for a benchmark. Yeah. We need to see the clear ways. We need to see what they went to do in the benchmark. All agriculturalists are made in this country. We have those who have done agricultural extension. Yes. We've done those who have done agricultural economics. We've seen those who are in agricultural engineering. Why don't they be brought for a workshop so that their ideas can be heard? That what are some of the mechanisms that we can use to utilize 1 or 2, 3 challenges that we have in the agricultural ministry? We have a lot of doctors, trained doctors. Even Kenyans, we have some of the doctors that are being that offer the services in different countries across the world. Why don't they be brought? Why don't they organize for a forum where, when a CS has a challenge in the ministry, 1 or 2 challenges can be aired, and these people can also provide a solution, even if it is not a physical meeting, but there can be a framework. What we are facing here in terms of the governance, we expect that the governance is how also you distribute some of these positions. Yes. These positions, how they are being distributed, we are really complaining. Because there's no expertise, there's no experience. Somebody did for example, agricultural engineering. You want to take an agricultural engineer to go and be even the CSO for transport. Will that person deliver? So these positions which are being awarded on loyalty, they should also be awarded on expertise. They should also be awarded in a way that even if you put somebody there, this person will not be taking the 5 years to learn on the job. This person can learn off the job, on the job, and from the job.
Now, you wanted to come in, yeah?
Yes, just for a second.
Yes.
I'm happy that he has admitted that benchmarking was actually done.
Yes.
He has admitted that. So which means there's accountability. Number two.
No. There's no accountability. If they used millions of the money of the people, the accountability part of it, I'm not aware. Because the accountability means that you are provided with a voucher of 1.2 million, bring it back how you spent it. I spent this on this, I spent this on this, balance is 0. That's the accountability.
That's true. That's true. Okay, Number one, he has accepted that benchmarking was actually done, right? And it's also asking the accountability, how this money was used. Let me ask you, for example, you know some of this data you cannot verify. You will only have to depend on what you have been given. Let me say, for example, a CS was given 50 million to go and do a benchmarking abroad, right? And then you want to ask accountability from the person you are oversighting. He's going to tell you that I spent a night in New York in this particular hotel, and on per night I was paying 1 million. How will you verify that data based on that hotel? Because remember, the hotel is in America. You will have to, there are some data which you have to depend on what you are being given, because personally you cannot verify, right? But the good thing is that he has accepted that benchmarking was actually done. Number two, he has talked about cutting of the government expenditure.
Yes.
Right? Now this is where, that is what we call a double jeopardy in the life of an electorate, right?
Why? How?
Kenyans don't know what they want.
What do you mean Kenyans?
The other day, we had Katiba Day, right?
Yes.
And I sampled some opinions from Kenyans. There were some that were even sampled by the mainstream medias. How do you feel about this Katiba Day? what kind of opinions were people giving? This constitution is very expensive. This constitution should have been voted out. We don't need this position. We don't need this. In fact, everybody accepted that the constitution is very expensive. That is number one. Number two, being expensive means a lot of money has to be used to maintain this kind of constitution. That is why the government budget has to go high. When the government budget goes high, Kenyans complain that we need to cut the expenditures. The same Kenyans also are saying this constitution is very expensive. You see, there's a lot of contradictions there. You know it is expensive, right? And now we are raising more ways of raising revenue so that we can maintain it, and still you are opposing it. Number two, about cutting of expenditures.
Yes.
It was not all about travels. Cutting travel expenditures alone cannot bring a multiplying effect on the overall budget of the government.
Do you know, just hold on that cutting expenditure, the president promised to reduce the number of advisors. He has since increased them, right?
That's true, right, but I'll reach there.
Why?
I'll reach there,
Okay.
right? So, cutting the expenditures, I mean the per diems, cannot have a multiplying effect over the overall expenditure of the government. Other projects also have to be cut down. There are so many other things that have to be reduced so that we can have an overall increased budget. Remember the 2025-2026 budget was previously supposed to be 4.5,
yes,
but it was revised downwards. And remember, if I take you back a bit, in Finance Bill 2024-2025,
yeah,
when it was rejected, the president said one thing. The fact that we have rejected this finance bill is going to have some negative impact on our country's economy. There are some projects that are going to stop because we are going to have less finance to finance them, right? The moment a particular project is stopped or it is halted from continuing because the expenditure of the government has been cut down, many people will go to the streets saying, why are this project uncompleted? So that is the double jeopardy in the life of an elected. Kenyans don't know what they want. They cannot stick to one thing.
Do you know what you want, Mr. Julius?
This is one of the saddest moments when my brother says that the government collects the revenue so that they can maintain the constitution. I'm very sorry. I thought the government can collect the revenue so that they can maintain the economic status of the country. That's why we are dangling. The same constitution was used by the late President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was used by the President Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta used this constitution for 10 years. Were people complaining? Was it too expensive to maintain this constitution? And which clauses have been amended in this constitution that brings it too expensive within these 3 years that this government has been in place? I think we are getting this fact, we are not getting it right. The Kenyans, they know what they want. The problem is this constitution, nobody implements the constitution the way it should be implemented. We've seen a lot of people corruption cases.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of corruption cases. And corruption, these are some of the things which are being fought in the constitution. How is the constitution expensive if the president cannot mention these people by name? Yes, he knows that there's Sokohuru in the Senate, there's 10 million shillings that was asked in the parliament, there's a welfare chair in the committees of the parliament, that their work is to ask for money.
Right, yeah,
How is it expensive?
Just before we go for a break, just before we go for a break, I'd like Mr. Vincent to come in. Do you think that the president is committed in fighting corruption, especially in the wake of, calling members of county assembly of Nairobi to micromanage whatever is happening in Nairobi County Assembly?
Definitely. But this question depends on whom you are asking, right?
Yes, I'm asking you.
No. Yeah. This is just a general view.
Okay.
Yeah, as a Kenyans, right? This question is going to whom you are asking in the streets, right? The president is very dedicated to fighting corruption. The biggest challenge in fighting corruption is one. In fact, it's not a corruption, this thing. It is a very clandestine way of lobbying, right? You find that someone you want to fight is someone maybe who is around your circle, right? You have to become in loggerhead with this person. That is the trickiest part. Remember, there are some people who are having an immune of investigation, right? Constitutionally, the Constitution says that this person, no one is above the law. That's according to the Constitution. Yeah. But remember, there are two different scenes in politics. The reality and the theoretical part. The theoretical part is now what is supposed to happen according to the Constitution. And the reality is now what is happening at the ground level, right? But president is actually dedicated to fighting the corruption, because you see the other day, I think it was the other week, what did he sign? Anti-corruption proclamation, right?
Yeah.
And he signed it.
But that one has stalled either way. But though we are coming back, we want to take a short. Just hold on.
Yeah.
We are going for a quick break here at GBS TV, and this is the Inside. The conversation is heated up, and don't go too far.
Where does today come before yesterday? Kumbuka majibu fupi pale kwa SMS line at 21144.
Art should be a mirror. It should mirror things that people are going through, both the ones that are spoken and the unspoken.
What's the difference between film and theater?
Film and theater.
If you had to write an entire story without either action or dialogue, which will you choose?
Wacheni could treat film and theater kama entertainment. Yeah. So film and theater is a very strong tool.
How do you think art is related to film and theater?
So today we are diving into a topic that has become rather popular right here in Kenya, the K-pop culture.
I would say K-pop invokes creativity, like mega creativity. I have friends who are creative and you see you've done that and they're like, yeah.
An ex told me that K-pop stan girls, she was like, the men you stan look like women and you aim to get a man that looks like that. So if you fail to find a man like that, because obviously you're in Kenya, you're not going to find a pretty man.
For me, it's like I have two personalities at this point. I have my normal life and I have my army life. Because when I get into my army life, it's just like a whole new world. A community full of people who don't judge, people who accept you.
Learning Korean from a Kenyan can sometimes mess you up because they pronounce words differently, and when you speak to a native, it's like, hold up, what did you say?
I've never met like a K-pop fan. I don't know why.
What am I?
No, not when people want to like express themselves like I'm a K-pop fan. Unless you see them like wearing like a branded T-shirt or a branded hoodie, you realize that they are K-pop fans.
The main campaign of BTS is loving yourself, right? And K-pop has a lot of drawbacks, just like anything else. Too much of something is poisonous, yeah? And one of the drawbacks is it comes with beauty because they have these absurd beauty standards. While BTS passed this message that you're supposed to love yourself, embrace yourself, you're just perfect the way you are. You know, you don't have to eat less to be beautiful. You're beautiful from the inside, right?
Getting to BTS, it's hard to come out.
Oh, okay, okay.
Everywhere, GBS.
Well, thank you so much and welcome back to The Insight. I'm still Emmanuel Ouma, and with me here is still Julius and Mr. Vincent. We were talking about corruption, and Mr. Julius wanted to come in on that issue that we think is the president sincere as far as fighting corruption is concerned?
You see, according to Article 181 of the Constitution,
yes,
we are truly guided on the grounds of which the governor can be impeached. We've seen a lot of governors being impeached in the country, and no president has intervened because that is the Constitution taking shape. There isn't, the most recent one is the governor for Kericho.
Yeah.
The governor, why did the president call the UDMCs into the State House? So that he could also listen to the grounds of which the MCs had. Why couldn't he call the MCS in Isiolo to listen to the case of the governor, Abdi Guyo? Why couldn't he call the MCS of Siaya to listen to the ground why they wanted to impeach Deputy Governor Oduol? So I think we should not bend the Constitution. However, we should not bend this Constitution. I think, from my view, that they were thinking that if the governor was impeached, for example, they were preempting that the deputy governor could have taken the position, who is the Mushiri, His Excellency the Deputy Governor Mushiri,
Yeah.
who is a Kikuyu. So there was also a trouble argument that if Kikuyu owns Nairobi, then the political environment of Nairobi will have been skewed towards the DCP. So they wanted to maintain this because this is a UDA governor, because one of the privileges which are being enjoyed by the government, if they have their own governor of the city county. But what they did, they were trying to bend the constitution in favor of a governor. Those MCs had 20 grounds for the impeachment of the governor. Those MCs, they were not 10, they were not 20. Those MCs were 100 plus who wanted to impeach the governor. That was more than what the county assembly could afford. Bending the constitution, nobody is above the constitution. And going forward, you'll find that all these 20 reasonings which were on the ground, all of them, they have gone seamless in favor of the governor. And I don't know the hidden decision that the state had in this. And the same applies to the same day, ODM MCAs were also called at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation, so that they could also be told on this. And after that, everything went silent. I don't know, at times also these legislatures that we have at the county assembly and at the national assembly, some of them, I don't know how they are swayed, some of them are not independent, some of them depend on the sycophancy, and also they praise what we call that they are a political party. And I want to tell him that going forward, even if any governor that the MCAs they have approved, that this governor truly, whatever is being implemented, the constitution is not being implemented, the roles of the governor is not being implemented as per the constitution, and would wish that from the grounds of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and which I support that if the greatest ground is corruption, if the greatest ground is investment of funds of the people, if the basic ground is that the services are being delivered but in a sketchy way, then the MCs, they have truly good ground to impeach the governor. But let the state, let no any other good political profiled person in this country call the MCs that please do this or this in favor of this governor.
You want to come in?
Who elects the governor?
The electorate.
The electorate.
Yeah.
Yes.
On what ground? On the ground that the kind of manifesto you present to us, we are contented with it, right?
Yes.
Number one, MCS must be oversighted. MCS are using the position they have, their power of impeachment, to paralyze activities of the governor.
How?
That is the biggest thing.
How?
MCS will always lobby for particular funds from the governor. And if a governor stands firm that I'm not going to give out this money because it is not in line with the law, the MCS will threaten you. If you look at areas where MCS have impeached a governor, it is always on matters of conflicting interest and not all about corruption entirely. That is the biggest thing.
Sia County, they did impeach a deputy governor.
Okay.
That was not one of them.
Okay, is right?
Yeah.
But remember, MCS impeaching a governor, it is always solely on matters of conflicting interest. If you cannot release, if you look at the case of Nairobi County right now, MCAs were threatening the governor that we are going to impeach you. Yes. On what ground? Because there is a certain kind of fund that they want to lobby, but the governor is sitting on it, is saying, no, you cannot, I can't give you this money because it is not in line with the law. Oh, you can't do that. We are going to impeach you. And when the governor gets such threats, the governor will say, okay, let's talk. I'll give you the money. But on the ground that, on fear, if a governor is corrupt, what is the work of EACC? Has EACC given a report that this county and this county and this county has mismanaged fund? Is there a report at the EACC before this MCA say that this governor is corrupt? That's why when that motion is taken to the Senate, senators do not always rush to make conclusion based on theories of the MCAs. They have to pick everything with a tooth comb to make sure that it meets legal threshold. That's why you find that most of the impeachment cases do not pass through the Senate, because Senates look at it keenly. Yeah.
Just on representation, how independent is our legislative assembly or even the member of county assembly or the county assembly, Mr. Juma, Julius?
Now you see, these members of the county assembly, they depend on the resources which come from the county.
Yes.
and they have got 3 major roles. Their major role, the why we elect them, apart from the legislation, is representation. And here comes a case that also, this constitution, there are some loopholes that I see within this constitution. There are a lot of loopholes I see within this constitution.
Yes.
Like because how is the budget developed? Budget is developed, people come for the public participation.
Yes.
From the public participation, they are being presented to the assembly, to the budget and appropriation committee within the county government.
Yes.
To do some of the appropriation of these things which have come from the public participation. Once that is done, the main challenge which is there is that this ward fund is not there. It is not being managed by the MCS. Everything is stored within the governor. So that if I want a road, I want my road to be done from Sorikarungu maybe to Odi. If I'm not in line with what the governor is saying, that road will not be done. If I want water project, I want it situated at a certain area.
Yes.
If I'm not in the same language with the governor, it will not be done. I would wish, and also during the devolution conference, it was tabled as one of the recommendations that MCS, they want their ward funds. So that even if you're not in line with the opinion of the governor cannot deny you development.
But let's say MCAs or members of parliament are not executors.
That's true.
They are not executors.
Just a point.
MCS, you see the difference between what we have as MCS. For example, if Migori County government receives around 11 billion, if it receives 11 billion, maybe there's a quite percentage that goes to settle the bills on salaries and so on. Then there's a percentage that is, then there's a percentage that is meant for the development. This percentage that is meant for development, if for example, 10 million is meant for water projects, the governor will say that out of this 10 million, how many water projects can we do?
Yes.
If there are 100 water projects, how are we going to slot these 100 water projects? I would wish a fair governor can say, out of the 40 wards maybe that we have in a county, let us do all first 40 water projects. Then out of the 40, the 60 which are remaining, let us also do another one, so that each and every ward can have two. Then let us also do another one, so that each and every county can, so that we have equity. But if you go to the MPs, they manage the national government, or the CDF. They manage the energy
CDF.
This energy CDF is within their the constituency account, and they can manage it the way they want. So they are the people to decide that from my constituency, I want to do this. From my constituency, let this one go for the bursaries. From my constituency, let this one go for the renovation of school. From my constituency, let this one go for this.
He wants to come.
This is just a short point.
Yes.
Based on MCS and the impeachment.
Yeah.
You can take this anywhere. This is in the public domain and people know it. The main reason why MCS impeach a governor is because sealing of the eating positions. That is the biggest reason. There's nothing like
eating
positions, right? Just a minute. The biggest reason why MCS impeach governor is the sealing of eating position. Nothing else. Personally, there's an MC I know personally here in Nairobi. Last week, I think we were seated somewhere, so we had got some personal interaction. And I asked him in Kiswahili, shida ni nini huko bana? And he told me, huyo jamaa tupange vizuri. What does that mean? Huyo jamaa tupange vizuri. Which means there is something they want, and it is not being given. The governor is staying turned that this thing is not in harmonize with the law, so I can't do it, or you can't do it. So MCS use their impeachment power to threaten the governors in case the eating position is sealed. That is the biggest reason, nothing else.
And just to answer my question, I just asked that, how independent is our National Assembly and or the County Assembly? Are they independent?
Our National Assembly is independent, but there are also some factors that hinder the independency. You remember?
So if there are factors, it is not.
Yeah, just to take you back a bit. Remember when the president was at the devolution conference?
Yes.
He said, I've got a report. There are people at the National Assembly, probably the chairs of the committee, that they are using their positions to manipulate the reports, right? They want to ask a particular amount of money to be given so that they can write a positive report. Right, it's right, they are independent. But who oversights them? The fact that there is no one who is oversighting them is now infringing the independence of that of the legislature, right? Because even if I do this, we have been presumed independent. There is no one who is going to oversight this. That is the biggest factor.
The Auditor General?
Yeah, the Auditor General does it, right? But remember, the Auditor General also does it, but there are also some limitations to that.
Which one?
Huh? Remember? You are shocked, right?
I'm here to listen to the limitations of the Auditor General.
Yeah, Auditor General is oversighting MPs. Based on that fund, NG funds that they have been given to to do some job at the constituency level, right? But this clandestine way of lobbying that the MPs are asking from the governors and the CEOs of parastatals so that they can write a report, that one is not being oversighted. Auditor General is oversighting the amount of money that the MPs have been given to work with. This amount they are asking from the governors, from the CEOs of parastatals, this one is not being oversighted because it is not in their hands.
But the president hasn't named anyone, though.
Right.
Why?
Sorry?
The president hasn't named any MP that, so-and-so is responsible for this.
The president didn't name anybody,
Yes.
but the president is having a wind that this thing is going on at the National Assembly, and therefore, it is a fresh call that we should start. We used to oversight this side of the money we give them. Now, there is another side which we haven't known, and it has been existing for a very long time. Now, let's also switch gears to this one. Yeah. A very positive.
You see what is happening.
Yes.
The person that we perceive to be the lead in the implementation of the constitution should be the president.
Exactly.
Should be the executive, should be the governors, should be the senators, should be the MPs, should be the women rep, and should be the MCS. And if these people, they are not implementing the constitution that we people and other people fought for, then there's nowhere we are headed as a country. You've had a lot of MPs, they come out clearly and say that during the impeachment of the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, they were given money. And they have quoted the amount that they were given. This money was from the State House. You're just being called this and this, take, go and vote. This and this, take, go and vote. So at that particular time, the president had not identified that at least he should be fighting this corruption. Number two, if it truly meant the good thing for this country, then these people, because he says that he consumes raw intelligence. Raw intelligence means that if he was given the 10 million quotation that was circulating in the parliament or was taken by an MP, he knows the MP that did this. Why don't they come clear? This MP has not been charged in any law court. We've not had any MP being charged. But 10 million shilling is not a change. 10 million shilling can transform the lives of people in this country.
Yes.
Just a second, right?
Yes, a second.
You said that the president never mentioned the name of a particular MP just in case he knows it.
Yes.
Remember, legally, the president cannot do that.
Why?
Yeah?
You can't say
Just to give you, for lack of a better term, let me just give you a silly example. If an MP dies, a by-election is supposed to be done, right? And the person who declares the seat vacant is the Speaker of the National Assembly. The Speaker writes to the chairman of the IBC that a certain constituency is now vacant, conduct elections. Before the Speaker does that, chairman of the IBC cannot do that even if he personally attended the funeral. He will assume that seat is not vacant. That's the thing. So in this case with the president has identified that there is something that is going on there. It is not his duty to mention the person. It is now the duty of another person now to go. You are sleeping at work.
Yeah.
There is a bad thing going on there. Go and bring us the names. It is your duty, not my duty to mention that person.
Okay.
That's the thing.
And even if this multi-agency team that has been meant there to fight the corruption thing, which is a blend of ODPP, a blend of EACC, a blend of what. I'm telling you, even if we have got that blend, does it mean that EACC also is sleeping at work? So that he could not identify these things until the president comes and identify by raw intelligence.
Okay.
Number two.
The challenge.
Number two. I also want him to tell us this money that was circulating in the parliament for the impeachment of former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua. Is it true? Because MPs have come out and have said that the money was circulating and they were being given money to go and vote.
Now Vincent will come and answer
Just a second.
that.
A second.
Okay, 1 second before we go for break.
I can defend EACC.
Yeah.
EACC is having a challenge.
Okay.
And the biggest challenge of EACC is backlog.
Okay.
Nothing else. A lot of pending cases.
A lot of
So a lot of pending cases which consumes the taxpayers' money each and every time.
We are speaking about accountability, and when we come back, we want to talk about the politics surrounding the by-election that is coming up in different constituencies and county, especially I think one senatorial seat and different MCA county assembly positions that were left vacant, and the election will be taking place on the 27th of November. That discussion coming up next.
Ufadhili umekuwa vipi?
Nadhania ukiangalia our culture ama our mindset kwa hii nchi, watu wanaona ni kama michezo hakuna pesa.
Nini itakufanya uende ukaekeze kwa kandanda?
So ukitazama uangalie kuna ile mambo ya impact ambayo utapata kwa your brand. So if you want to align your brand na hiyo football, it's a plus.
Yes.
So what we are trying to do with our investors now, I can tell you for free, H-Pesa, we also have Nutrien, who are fintech companies, financial technology companies, who now we are working together. They have come to us because of the numbers we have.
Yes. Maybe if you look, maybe FC and other teams, are you regretting when you put your money
in FC?
Not at all. Not at all. We say numbers never lie. So
yes, numbers never lie.
They'll always tell you the truth. Innovation is what drives change. And in the technology space, it's what you do different than the gaps that you see that make you better than the rest.
The candidates ambao wanawania hizo viti, what's the most question we would ask all of them?
Now my next big concern, how can we monetize football in this country?
I think my question would be very simple. How do you bring more people? How do you make football so attractive that most people can invest in it?
The boy was growing normal, because the normal is what we should get back into. What is happening now is the abnormal.
And that is not happening today, because there is a place for fatherhood that is lacking in our day. Maybe that's
wow. My name is Dr. Peter Mureithi Elisha, PM. Walk the talk, mentors, and you parents. How do you explain to your daughter who finds that you bring men to the house when their father is not there? How will she behave?
You say monkey do.
Yes. Today in our nation, the girl is quite empowered. Even if you go around and watch around, you will hear Girl Child Empowerment Project.
Everywhere, GBS.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you so much for still staying with the Insight here at GBS Television. Still with me is Mr. Julius Umoja and Mr. Vincent Juma to help us discuss these issues. Now, on the 27th of November, the country will see numerous by-elections that will be taking place. The political temperature has been on the rise since the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission declared the elections date, and the campaign periods have been slated and timelines have been given by the Independent Electoral Commission. So, gentlemen, do you believe that the by-elections that will be taking place is a precursor to the general election 2 years from now, at least 1.5 or something like that?
The by-elections which are coming in 27th of November, it will be like a political thermometer, whereby we'll be telling the government or the broad-based, we'll be putting them on the chopboard as a united opposition. We have got 23 positions that are going to be subjected on by-elections, including 6 parliamentary positions, and the MCAs are 16.
Yes.
So, which means...
And 1 senator.
1 senator for Baringo.
Yes.
Which means that even if I start from Kasipul, Kasipul, which is in Homa Bay County. As a united opposition, you see, the good thing with us, we've harmonized and now we have a running secretariat headed by Mukisa Mutui, Dr. Mukisa Mutui.
Not everybody agrees with Mukisa Kitui.
Not a matter of everybody.
Malala doesn't agree.
You know what is happening? Mukisa Kitui was elected by the principals,
yes,
including the boss of Malala. So if Malala is not agreeing with the Mukisa Kitui, the best person that he needs to channel his complaints to is his boss. That is Rigathi Gachagua.
Yes.
Rigathi Gachagua participated in electing or in nominating Mukisa Kitui. Mukisa Kitui was nominated as a neutral person because the rest of the principals, they have got the ambition of becoming the president of this country, and all of them are going to be endorsed during their NDCs to go and vie for the presidential seat. Then after that, we are going to sit down now and harmonize that who is going to be the flag bearer of the united opposition. And good enough that on Monday or next week, we are going to launch a very good name for the coalition that will be in a position to entitle, that will be in a position to welcome, that will be in a position to tell the people that are truly and give hope that this next government for 2027 will be won by the united opposition. Back to you in the by-elections. Yeah. Kasipul, Homa Bay County, united opposition. As Wiper, we are going to fill a candidate, and this candidate is going to win very early in the morning in the Kasipul election. Are you sure about that? You see, wait. And now, because in the entire Nyanza, we have got 2 by-elections.
Yes, yes.
We have Kasipul and we have Umoja. Yeah. We are going to leave Umoja maybe for the ODM people, but we're also going to fill the candidate. And also maybe kind of leave it for the ODM people to wipe their tears that we cannot pick the 2 positions after Wipers pick the Kasipul. Okay, and second, we have the by-election in Mbeere North. Mbeere North is either DCP or DCP. Then we have a by-election in Banisa. We have a by-election in Magarini. We have a by-election in Baringo. The one for Baringo, even you see the residents of Baringo said that with us we are not going to elect UDA. Gideon Moi, give us the candidate or come back to the field. Those are not my words. I don't stay in Baringo. I don't vote in Baringo. But those are the words of the Baringo people. They even want Gideon Moi to come back and go for those positions. I'm telling you, my friend, me, I go to the ground. I go home each and every weekend. Even tomorrow I will be home. So that I confirm the political temperature. I'm telling you, the political temperature is skewed towards the united opposition.
First, I'm agreeing with him. Yeah? Based on the fact that he's saying that these upcoming by-elections are going to be a thermometer, right? In fact, I wanted to use the word test waters, but they are almost the same. He's saying a funny thing that they are currently, you're calling yourself united opposition, right?
Not calling ourselves. We've been branded by the people.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay.
That is we've been branded by
the united opposition. He's saying that they are working on a good name. What is a good name? We need a good manifesto, not a good name, right? There is no way a good name is to the benefit of the normal Kenyan, the hustler. The hustler needs a plan. The plan must work. What are you going to do to these people? Not a good name. A good name cannot help the normal mwananchi.
But the president has been having a plan ever since.
But that's true. Let me ask you. The president has been having a plan ever since, but the plan is working, right? And secondly, about the by-elections, I think we should not talk about this by-election. We should narrow it down to the areas with the mixed political stance, right? The by-elections in Nyanza, the one at Ugonja and the one at that lakeside constituency, Kasipul. Those are stronghold of a certain political party, right? Which means that chances of an aspirant of that particular political party clinching that seat is 90%. Chances of an aspirant from Julius, my brother here, party clinching that seat is close to 5%. So what we should talk about, where the real thermometer comes in, is now the areas with a mixed political stand, like the Mbeere, right? You know, in Mbeere, they're the DCP.
Yes.
They're the UDA. Here, UDA is dominating.
Are you sure?
UDA is dominating, but DCP also want to show its influence along that region. So DCP is working hard in Mbeere to prove to Kenyans that we are also having a multiplying effect at the ground. To an extent that, the other day I saw an opinion poll, to an extent that DCP is now paying Mizani. And I have the right. I don't stand to be corrected. Just a minute.
You still let us be factual.
Just a minute. I don't stand to be corrected. They are even sponsoring the opinion polls to show that the DCP candidates are leading, just to bring some confusion to the masses. And the real thing at the ground is that it is the UDA that is still dominating that area.
Now, back to just hold on those opinion polls. There was an opinion poll, especially that was done by Mizani, about the gubernatorial elections in Siaya County, and it showed that William Odwol will win that election, and Orengo comes second, and what have you. So you believe that probably Odwol
the opinion polls at Ndembere are sponsored. There's nothing real in that opinion poll. But they have to be erected. The DCP, right? It's true that it is showing that DCP is leading. That opinion poll is sponsored. And if you've been in this country for a while, right, you've been seeing that there's a particular candidate in every presidential election. There's a particular candidate who has been leading in every opinion poll, but has never clinched a seat. True or false?
No, that's not true.
So,
no. That is not
these
true.
opinion polls, more so the one in Bere, it is sponsored. You have even given an example that in the same Mizani, conducting an opinion poll in Siaya and said that Odwol is going to win. Odwol has never won up to today. True or false?
No, I've said that he conducted today, the other day.
That's true.
I want to guide him. That this opinion poll, or the intro poll, the info track, these are independent bodies.
Yes.
And they have got their ways of which they conduct their things.
Yes,
they
can go to
how
the ground, they collect samples.
do the sampling.
Yes.
They can also conduct the online polls.
Even for an interview.
Yeah, and they can get the requirement that they want. But if you're saying that they went to the ground and they can edit, if someone says that here is DCP, then they change the DCP to UDA, my friend, I think you are wrong. I want to tell you here, and you'll mark this as a history. You'll save this clip for the future reference.
Yes.
That we are going to beat you down in Kasipul, 1-0. We'll live for you, Umoja, as Wiper. Wiper can even live for you, Umoja. Even if we come here to Kariobangi North, in Nairobi, we are going to beat you up, because I know you've also put the candidate there, maybe as the broad-based something. We are going to beat you there 10-0. And also if you go even to Mumbuni, we are going to beat you 10-0. If you go to Puko Ward in Kajiado, 10-0. So we are going to do zoning as a united opposition. We say DCP, fail here. Wiper, fail here. PLP, fail here. UPA, fail here. So that by the end of it all, we are going to work as a team. You know their problem, and I want to advise you so that you can go and tell your people that you cannot go and fill a candidate in Malava, fill as ODM, and also at the same time fill a candidate in Malava as UDA. You are going to lose. That one, our DCP candidate or our Wiper candidate is going to clinch that position, and he will say that we've rigged and also we had paid again the IBC officials to do that. My friend, we are on the ground, and I listen to the ground each and every time, and I want to tell you that this broad-based government, any party that is affiliated to the broad-based government, is an enemy not only to the youths, which are the Gen Zs, but also to women and old people that we have.
Just a question, right?
Vincent, just before you answer that, the president has dismissed the opposition as sloganeering individuals. Sloganeers and what have you. Of course, there have been slogans, especially by opposition, 1 term, 2 term, and what have you. But do you think this gives president sleepless night?
Never yet. I'm proud to answer that question. All right. You see, the president said other day, and I can quote that, this work, this is like a sermon, it's like a mission. These are choir masters that are pushing this word to go ahead, right? All those people making noise, those sloganeers, those are choir masters. This song, this dance is necessary for the work to go on. The work cannot go on when the people are silent, right? These people are sloganeers. If you ask the one-term people, now that you want to clinch, you want to vie for president in 2027, what are you going to do for Kenyans? Mm-hmm. What is your plan? Our plan is that William Ruto must go home. And then you ask the person again, right?
But they say that for them to exercise or execute their plan efficiently, the current president, Mr. Ruto, must go.
It's okay. Yeah. But now take this scenario. Okay, you want the president to go home. After that, what are you going to do for us? And he says, we are going to tell you what we are going to do for you after the president is gone. How is that realistic? What is your plan for Kenya? Just a minute. If I say that my plan for you is that I'm going to build you roads, for instance, I'm going to build you hospitals. I'm going to build you ICT hubs. I'm going to build you markets. Now you, what are you going to do to us? No, he must go home. Their plan is that William Ruto must go home. Only that. Kenyans, those people have got no plan for you. Definitely.
Do you have a plan?
First, he's saying that they are not feeling the political temperature from the united opposition. We started it by the philosophy of the one term.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, all of them were on the sunroof saying two term. All of them were on the sunroof saying two term. We started public engagements with the people. We could go to any part of the country. What did they do? They started economic empowerment for women. If you are not feeling these things, why are you doing these things? Number three, recently, if our leaders are going to the church services, why do you block them on the road? Just attending a church service. You tear gas them. You arrest them. When they are having the political meetings at their residential homes. If you are not feeling their political temperature, why are you doing these malicious activities to them? Huh? Why are you doing these malicious activities? I want to tell you, and I have to confirm it here, that the united opposition, we are going to our manifesto, because the good thing that they don't know, even us as the youths of the united opposition, we have sat and we've drafted our manifesto. If we tell you our manifesto right now, you are going to steal them and you are also to draft yours, the way I know you people do. So the only good thing that with us we can help you people is that we are telling you that the economy is directed into a ditch. What should we do in common? Us, if we get to power as a united opposition, we are going to respect the human rights. If we get to the opposition, we are going, these demonstrations which are there because my party leader, Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, is a good ambassador of a stable economy. He's a good ambassador of the political stability in this country. We have the track records on how he worked with Mwai Kibaki. He should be consulted. If you don't consult him, my friend, in terms of the economic things, even next year, don't be surprised to see Generation Alpha combining with Generation Z to give a bomb blast.
About the political temperature, I'm answering that. Yeah. In the theatrics of politics, there are only two people who can survive: a strategist and a propagandist. If you're not among the two, forget the political game. Sit back and eat, right?
Yes. So they are going to campaign for propaganda. They are going to propaganda.
Just a minute, right? Just a minute.
Yes. Propaganda. Okay, propaganda. Sawa.
Remember the united oppositions. Those are sloganians, and sloganeer is a propagandist. And in this theatrics of politics, a strategist,
even as you conclude,
a strategist is stronger than a propagandist. Why? Because a strategist works with the wave of the people's mentality, while a propagandist works by tickling the people's emotions. And these people have mastered the heart that, and according to one of receptivity of the masses, as always, is very limited, right? And the power of the masses to forgetfulness is also very enormous. And they have also known that, in consequence of these facts, an effective propaganda must just have unlimited points until the last member of the public understands what you want to understand. That's why they have mastered that art of propaganda to an extent that they want to limit it to the hump of one term until the last member of the public get convinced that we don't need something good for us. The only thing we need is the one-termism. And remember about the political temperatures.
As you wind up.
As I wind up. In the field of fighting for political position, the person who appears weakest is always the strongest, right? Because it's always the most dangerous. Because by appearing weak while your enemies are building pressures or political tensions, right, they grow arrogance and pride among themselves to an extent that when they come to attack you, they will have no strategy. So when you strike back, they will have no defense upon themselves.
Okay, Julius, are you a propagandist as we conclude?
He claimed they are the propagandists. Without what we are saying are the real things. We judge them based on the manifestos that they are put. They said that the moment they just drop the Bible, once they have been sworn in 100 days, the country will be very, very stable. Now how many 100 days have passed? And do we have a stable country? No. So we judge you with what you are bestowed in your manifesto. So I'm telling them that the moment the parliament will be dissolved.
And that's the last point.
Yes. The moment the parliament will be dissolved. The moment the county assemblies will be dissolved is when you will see that truly a lot of the MPs they have been pressed with this current government, and they will come to the united opposition, including this Kenya Moja, which is there.
All right, that's where we end it. The conversation here has been very deep and educational, and of course even political. This conversation does not end here. It goes all the way to our social media pages, Facebook, X, and Instagram at GBS TV, and you can follow me at Emmanuel, Ouma, at Julius, Umoja, and at Vincent?
At Davin the First.
At Davin the First.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been The Insight. My name is Emmanuel Ouma. Till next week, same day, same time. Good evening.